From Washington, here is the news in VOA Special English. Iraqi officials say a series of bombings Monday killed at least 23 people. Militants blew up several houses in the town of Mussayab, south of Baghdad, killing 7 people. In the Karradah district of the capital, a car bomb exploded near a group of Shiite religious travelers going to the southern holy city of Karbala, killing 5 people. Bombs also killed 4 policemen in the northern city of Kirkuk, 1 officer in the neighboring town of Tuz Khormato, and 2 people in the central town of Hilla. Pakistan has released 8 Afghan Taliban prisoners. They include the man who served as the Minister of Justice when the Taliban ruled Afghanistan in the late 1980s. Pakistan's Foreign Ministry said in a statement Monday that 3 former Taliban provincial governors had also been released. Afghanistan has long sought the release of the Taliban prisoners in its efforts to unite the country. Help from Pakistan, which supported the Taliban government in Afghanistan, is seen as important to Afghan peace efforts. Pakistan said the prisoners were released to help the Afghan peace process. Israel has eased its 5-year blockade of the Gaza Strip. Trucks carrying building materials are driving into the Palestinian territory. The materials were bought in Egypt for building projects being paid for by Qatar. Israel started the blockade in 2007 after the Hamas Islamist group gained control of the Gaza Strip. Many people in India canceled their New Year's Eve celebrations. They were honoring the young woman who died Saturday from injuries suffered during a gang rape. The 23-year-old student had severe internal injuries after the rapists inserted a metal rod into her body during the hour-long attack on a bus in the capital, New Delhi, 2 weeks ago. Hotels, clubs, the military, and the head of the ruling Congress Party canceled their celebrations. Many people gathered in the capital and other large cities. 6 men have been arrested and charged with murder. They could be sentenced to death if they are found guilty. Police in Malaysia say they have detained about 450 people from Burma who tried to enter Malaysia illegally. A police official said the Rohingya Muslims arrived on Sunday seeking asylum in Malaysia. Many in Burma consider the Rohingyas illegal immigrants from Bangladesh. The United Nations has ended its 13-year peacekeeping mission in East Timor. President Batan Ruak said East Timor now enjoys peace and security. East Timor held peaceful elections for president and parliament in 2012. You are listening to the news in VOA Special English. Rebels in the Central African Republic continue to threaten to attack the capital, Bangui, even though the president has offered to form a coalition government with them. Fighters in the coalition of 3 rebel groups were 75 kilometers from Bangui Monday. In the past 3 weeks, rebels have seized about a third of the country, including several major cities. President François Bozizé met with African Union Chief Thomas Yayi Boni on Sunday. He said he was willing to join with the rebels in governing the country. The rebel coalition accuses Mr. Bozizé of failing to honor an agreement made in 2007. That agreement said the rebels would be paid after giving up their weapons. Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez has suffered new problems after a cancer operation in Cuba. Speaking in Havana Sunday, Venezuelan Vice President Nicolás Maduro said the medical issues are related to an infection that began after Mr. Chavez's surgery. The 58-year-old president is to be sworn in for a 4th term on January 10th if his health improves. Venezuela's constitution requires a new election in 30 days if a president is declared unable to govern. The American Congress will likely not vote before the end of the day on an agreement that would keep taxes from increasing and severe budget cuts from going into effect on Tuesday. Earlier Monday, the leader of Republicans in the United States Senate said Republicans and Democrats have agreed on all tax issues in a deal to avoid what has been known as the fiscal cliff. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell spoke to Republican senators on Monday. Lawmakers have been trying to reach an agreement before the end of the year. Tax increases and spending cuts will go into effect on Tuesday if an agreement is not reached. Economists are worried that if an agreement is not reached, the American economy could go into another recession. Doctors treating American Secretary of State Hillary Clinton say she has a blood clot between her brain and her skull. Ms. Clinton was taken to a hospital in New York on Sunday. She has been sick in recent weeks with a stomach virus. About a week ago, she fell and suffered a head injury. Doctors found the clot when they were doing a follow-up examination days after the injury. Medical officials say she is being treated with medication that thins her blood, and she will be released once the proper amount of medication is determined. In a statement late Monday, her doctors said her health is improving, and they expect she will recover fully. Australian officials estimate that more than 1 million people gathered at Sydney Harbour to see fireworks that cost almost $7 million. The South Pacific countries are the first to begin the new year because they are close to the international dateline. Millions of people in Japan were visiting Shinto areas and Buddhist centers for traditional ceremonies and prayers.